My name is Tiffany Spraggins-Payne. You are listening to Zigzag, a weekly podcast discussing women in science, technology, transportation, engineering, entrepreneurship, mathematics, and related industries. On Zigzag, we discuss inclusion and diversity news, current trends, and have special guests speak about their experiences, including their competitive edge in the marketplace. Today, my guest is Audra Anusionwu. She is the founder and CEO of BeautiFitStrong, LLC, a fitness and lifestyle brand that encourages girls and women to step outside of their comfort zone and live beyond limits. Audra is a competitive bodybuilder, fitness coach, motivator, and health advocate. Welcome, Audra.
Thank you so much, Tiffany, for having me.
You're welcome, Audra. I'm so excited to have you here today. Before we jump into the interview with both feet, I would love to share a statement with you, and you tell me what that statement means in your own words. So when you hear, if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you, what does that mean to you?
Well, Tiffany, it means to me that there's going to be challenges in life. We are oftentimes confronted with disappointments, with failures, with hard times and hardships. Though it is through those moments that we prevail, we get there and we're able to get through and we come out on the other side like pure gold. And that's where the change comes forth. And sometimes we can't get there unless we go through. And going through is the perfect opportunity for us to be able to share those moments with other people and to empower them so that they too can get through. So if it doesn't challenge you, Tim, it doesn't change you.
I love it. I love it because I have a lot of challenges.
Don't we all?
Yes, we do. But we do prevail. And so that is the perfect segue into the question I have for you is, tell us a little bit about your background and how you landed in creating your own fitness brand, a program for young ladies called BeautiFitStrong, Camp for Girls, and you're also a bodybuilder. So just talk to us about how all of this kind of shaped up.
So how it all started, I worked for a number of years in social services, and for those people who work in the industry of health and healthcare and taking care of people, it can be very taxing.
Yes.
And for me, it was extremely taxing on my physical as well as my mental. And I gained a substantial amount of weight. I really just wasn't feeling good about myself and where I was at that particular point in my life. And I was looking to do something different. And I met a woman from Black Girls Run who had competed in bodybuilding. And I was like, well, what does it take? What do you do? And she introduced me to her coach, and it was on from there. I fell in love with bodybuilding. In 6 months, I prepared for my first competition, totally changed body composition, dropped almost 40 pounds, and I was ready for stage. And the interesting thing about that was I had to get in this two-piece. I had not thought it through. I have a scar from the top of my belly down to my belly button. And I was like, wait a minute, I got to get in this suit. Yeah. And so there was some things mentally, I conquered the physical portion, but there were some things mentally that I needed to conquer as well. And I was able to get through that, and I was able to get on stage, and the feeling that I felt, that liberating feeling, that empowering feeling was something that I knew even in that moment while I was standing on stage that I wanted other women to feel.
Yes.
And in that moment, birth literally was BeautiFitStrong. And so after that, after I competed, of course, I had people who wanted to know what I did, and they wanted me to help them. And so I went and did what I needed to do in terms of getting trained and getting certified. And after I did that, I began training other women. And while I was training the women, I started to notice and see some of the same things that I had been dealing with, struggling with body image issues. And I figured, like, okay, how can I tackle this? How can I help women? I needed to get to the girls.
Yes.
That's what I felt. I needed to get to the girls. I needed to get there early.
Yes.
And so there came BeautiFitStrong Camp for Girls. And the design of that is to empower and uplift girls and build them up in a way that no one can tear them down. Girls and women are oftentimes ridiculed for how they look. How they think. We're too smart. We're too silly. Our hair's too short. It's too long. We're too fat. We're too skinny. We're too this. We're too that. Yes. We're the species that bring forth life, but we're the ones that are broken down. So we're criticized so harshly, for how we show up.
Yes.
And so I wanted to, work on that and make sure that we're comfortable with who we are when we step in a room, when we step up on a stage, that we know who we are.
I love it. I love it. So Audra, just kind of break it down for us. So you competed, you won?
And my first competition, I did not even place.
Wow.
So the way that it's set up, there's 5 placings on the show. So you can get first through 5th place. I did not place at all. But here's the thing. I won.
Yes.
I won.
Yes.
I won because I was able to conquer something that I didn't think that I was capable of. And through that, I empowered and inspired a whole host of women who were like, wow, that's amazing. And they said, well, if she can get up there, if she can do it, maybe I can do it as well. And since I've been able to put 7 women on stage to compete in competition, all women over 40 years old,
wow.
I put a 52-year-old bikini competitor on stage, and I'm currently training a 64-year-old woman to compete next year.
Wow. Would you say working with women of a particular age group is your niche?
Yes. So if I had to identify a niche, I would say that my average client is about 45, between 45 and 50 years old.
Why do you think that is?
She's a professional woman. She's typically a mom. She's typically in management or above level of work, dealing with a lot of stress, managing a lot of things. And coming into the studio is her way of taking care of herself.
Yes. So let's go back a little bit to you competing and winning. And what does that win look like to you in your own right?
I've since won actual competitions, but winning for me, it was not in that moment. My first competition, it was not in a medal, it was not in a placement, it was not in a trophy. It was being able to conquer my fears.
Yes,
being able to confront myself, and that for me was powerful. It was the first time again I had ever really exposed like that scar openly. It was like, this is who I am. This is who I am, flawed and all. This is who I am. So it was empowering in that way because I conquered the diet. I conquered the workouts. You're talking about 5-day lift and split. You're talking about eating no carbs for a couple of weeks straight.
Yes.
You're talking about water depletion. All of those things. We call it being hangry. Okay,
I know all about that.
Going through the hangry phase. What turns from a routine in terms of the beginning of training. Making it like habit. To the point where you literally get up, and I was still working a full-time job. Wow. And so I had to get up at 5 a.m. to train, and then literally hitting a brick wall by 11 while I'm still at work, just to be able to get through it. For me, that was the win.
I'm excited. I want you to talk a little bit about, as we talk about the soft sciences, I want you to talk about how you leverage bodybuilding prep to address, STEM-related issues.
So bodybuilding is a science, and that the preparation around it is pretty exact. There's a lot of trial and error, so you try different things because every body is different. Every person is different. So you have to try out different things. There's timing.
Yes.
It's important to make sure you have proper pre-workout meals, post-workout meals, right? And make sure you're eating a few hours apart. Everything is exact and it's precise. And so that is the scientific portion of it. Even the way that you train, there's different types of workouts that are scientific that does different things for your body. So, of course, a short HIIT workout, you're going to get short bursts, there. And it's designed to get a quick strength thing. And if you want to burn through and burn more calories, you're going to do longer workouts. You may do longer steady state cardio. So it is indeed a science.
Yes. And as you know, I lost 50 pounds in the course of 3 weeks.
Yes.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Audra.
I know I saw you. So because we're going to go there. I saw Tiffany in Whole Foods, and I was walking up the stairs, and I said, well, I know that face, but I don't know that body. Is that Tiffany? And I had seen you in a while, and I was like, wow. And I remember saying, you look amazing. Like, you look amazing. And I just felt so proud in that moment of just seeing you, and, you just looking so well. And you was glowing.
Thank you, Audra. I mean, and little do you know, you're one of my, my mentors that I follow from afar around food and fitness and just lifestyle, and really just understanding like who you are, right? And earlier, as you were talking about the physical scars, but there are also symbolic scars that we have, right? And so for me, battling with the weight, I had gained 60 pounds, after I had my son. several years ago. I won't tell you guys how long ago that was, but
It's okay.
but I just remember my grandmother saying to me, "You had that baby a while ago. Like, why are you still holding on to that weight and that excuse?"
You gotta love grandmamas and the family members. They're brutally honest.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. But I can recall when I was running an Elevate program at the Enterprise Center, you came in, I asked you to come in and do a presentation for me, and you presented to a group of your colleagues the importance of not only understanding the business of health and fitness, but understanding the mindset that you need to have. So with that being said, I would love for you to talk a little bit more about mindset, because I know what my mindset was that got me to lose the 50 pounds. And I know the inspirations that I was drawing from, hint, hint, yourself and others. But talk about mindset and how that also plays into the sciences.
You have to make a choice. Everything pretty much starts with a choice.
Yes.
And choices are sometimes prompted. We might have grandma, if we're fortunate enough to have grandmama, auntie, or sister, cousin, or mate say, okay, it's time.
Yes.
It's time to do something different, and we receive it. Because there's the receiving part. We hear them and receive it and know that it's coming from a place of love. No matter how it's sometimes delivered, it's coming from a place of love. So it starts with a choice. And some choices are mandated by health physicians.
Yes.
And so you have a doctor's appointment and you get some bad news.
Yes.
You got high blood pressure or hypertension or something's going on where you absolutely have to make some adjustments. And so mentally you just got to turn it on. In those instances, get a coach. Sometimes people need support. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yes.
We all need help sometimes, and so that may come in the form of a trainer, may come in the form of a friend who's going to be there with you to support you along that journey. But you definitely have to utilize the tools that's going to get you there mentally. Even if you're not there, you need to find the tools that's going to get you there mentally. Who's going to help me? What do I have? What can I do with what I have right now?
Yes.
Because the two main reasons why people don't, work out or engage in fitness stuff is because of money. So resources and then time.
Yes.
Right. So those are the two most limiting factors. And so if you can conquer those two things, you are well. And I tell resources, you have your body weight. If you have nothing else, you have a 30-minute lunch break. That's your time. All right. If you got to get up at 5 a.m. before your workday, remember my demographic of women, they're professional working women with families. So for a lot of them, that means getting up at 5 a.m.
Yes.
And training so that their workout is done. And no matter what happens throughout the rest of the day, they've completed their workout.
Yes.
So if something happens at work, something happens with the kids, they're done. So you want to get in a mindset where this is for me. I have to do something for myself. And how can I do it? And who's going to help me do it?
Yes.
So that's the mindset portion of it.
So I just want to shift gears a little bit. I want you to talk a little bit more about you, right? And so this has been a journey as an entrepreneur developing BeautiFitStrong LLC. It's a legitimate business. Make no mistake about it, listeners. This is a legitimate business. And so, Audra, you have a fitness studio.
Yes.
And you have a camp.
So those are two components of the business. The fitness studio is in East Falls in a complex known as Sherman Mills. We operate Monday through Saturday. We do small group training in there, which is the circus-style strength and conditioning training. And we also do personal training, which is a one-on-one type session. And then if you have a training partner, that person I talked about, that could be your accountability partner that you work out together, we do duo sessions as well. So those are the offerings currently in the studio. In addition, of course, to bodybuilding, which is a specialized, customized program as well.
And so within the BeautiFitStrong camp for girls that you
Yes.
developed, this is one of your passion projects, aside from the bodybuilding, right?
That's my baby. The camp is my baby. And as I said earlier, it was birthed out of the need to really reach women early, to kind of undo some of those things, those negative stigmas that could be there around self-esteem, around body image. 78% of girls struggle with body image issues. When I learned that, it was pretty baffling to me. And so we do yoga, we do Zumba, we do a lot of movement stuff. We teach them healthy eating through making healthy snacks. We have healthy catered lunches daily. Shout out to Authentic Ethnic Cuisine, our caterers, that make sure that they provide healthy salads. They have some sort of salad every day, fresh fruit,
Yes.
water. And it's interesting because they come in the beginning and their arms are folded and they're looking at the salads and the wraps and the food and the different things like, I don't eat salad. I'm not doing that, right? To it's an 8-week program. So
Yes.
by week 3 or 4, they're like, what salad we having today?
That acceptance
what kind of fruit are we having today? And it's pretty cool. We do a lot of empowerment, so a lot of I am affirmations. We set our intentions in the morning for the day in terms of what kind of day they're going to have. They complement and support one another. And so we just really create this environment that'll allow them to grow in that 8 weeks time. We do 21st century skills in STEM. We talked about STEM.
Yes. And I love that you have leveraged the 21st century skills, which is a trend.
Yeah.
That is growing amongst educating young people. Talk about that.
So with the STEM, we decided to partner with different organizations. We partnered with Neighborhood Workshop that does robotics. And the cool thing about that was, I had some girls come in and throughout in their school, they have behavioral issues, they have, attention issues, whatever their issues are. And then they come in there and they're exposed to something like robotics and they excel.
Yes.
And they're like, they find something. There's like a huge connection that they're good at, that they can do and they can feel good about. And so the robotics is a great tool for that. They learn how to build. They learn how to get things to move. We also partner with Star Institute where they were able to extract DNA from strawberries and learn about cells and a lot of hands-on activities that they seem to really, really enjoy learning. And in a different way and in a different setting. And so it doesn't really feel like, like work, like school. And they talk about it. They talk about it all year. I hear from parents about how much they enjoyed it and how it transfers over back into school. So it's pretty cool. And we bring women in of all different STEM backgrounds. We've had engineers, partners in engineer firms. We've had pharmacists. We've had doctors come in and do all kinds of cool activities with them. So it's great. The STEM component is a major component. We are looking to get some grants so we can offer even more as we move into next year to summer 19.
That is, wow. What I love, Audra, is that you have been able to figure out a masterful way of bringing together experiential learning and the mind and body for young girls, but that also shows up in the work that you do for women as well. Talk about why you decided to marry those things and why are they so important?
Because they're all connected. They're all connected. It takes, sometimes the light bulb doesn't come on because you need to get in shape, or the light bulb doesn't come on because you should be eating right, especially for the girls. But when they recognize that it's all connected, when you work out, you feel better.
Yes.
You have more energy. You know, you're able to offer more and do more. You're happier.
Yes.
Things like that. And so when they're able to see the connection, to actually see it, and sometimes it takes for someone like me, for BeautiFitStrong, to put it all out in front of you for you to be able to see the connection. Like, oh, okay, if food is expensive, healthy food is expensive, but if I prepare my meals at home, right?
Yes.
It's not as expensive. It's good for me. And guess what? I'm also saving on time. It helps me with time management. So when you're able to see all of those things come together, then it makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense for the consumer. It makes sense for the girl. It makes sense for the women in the studio. So that's why it's so important for us to touch on all of those things. The whole mind, body, even the spiritual connection, being grounded, having some balance. It all comes together. And when it all comes together, it's glorious.
It's glorious. Yes, indeed it is. And so I just want to unpack this for a minute. Beauty, fit, strong. Why Beauty Fit Strong? Why is that the name?
So it started as a hashtag. It started as a hashtag when I was prepping for a competition. I had no idea what the plans were for it. But it literally started as a hashtag. And what it means to me and what I teach the girls and what the women understand it to be, what I work really hard to brand is that beauty is not just external, it's internal. And then fitness comes in all sizes.
Yes.
Right? All shapes and sizes. And you have to find your fitness. Maybe it's not in bodybuilding. Maybe it's running for you. Maybe it's Pilates. Maybe it's yoga. But fitness comes in all sizes and is for everybody.
Yes.
Right? And then strength also is internal. and there's a carryover, believe it or not. So I get women who come in the studio, and when they're able to like deadlift, 175 pounds or 185 pounds, it builds up their confidence. And then they're strong enough to be able to go into work and tell their boss what they're not going to do.
Go ahead. That's
that strength. That's the strength,
yes.
And there's a carryover there. And so strength is not just in the physical.
Yes.
It's an ability, being strong enough
yes.
to do what you need to do in life. So that's what BeautiFitStrong represents.
I love that. Audra, in moments of self-doubt and adversity, how do you build yourself back up to be beautiful, fit, and strong, which you are all the time? You just always have a glow. I love it.
It is work. It is absolutely work. What helps me is the pouring out. Literally the pouring out, because I pour out so much in what I do with the women that I work with and the girls that I work with. While I'm pouring out to you, while I'm sitting here at this very moment,
yes.
it serves as reminders for me in terms of what I need to do. So as I'm telling a little girl, believe it or not, they teach me so much. The kids do, the girls do.
Yes.
While I'm telling them, they challenge me. There was one instance where we were doing dream catchers, a dream catcher activity. We made the dream catchers with the feathers and the beads and all that.
Yes.
And they wrote up on a poster, they wrote up their dreams. And one little girl said to me, we talked about dreams and the importance of dreams and, how big can you dream? And you should dream so big that it scares you, and never let anybody stop your dreams. And,
wow.
And the little girl said, well, Miss Audra, what about those people who don't think you should or don't believe in your dreams? I said, I'm so glad you asked. I'm so glad you asked that question. We call them dream snatchers.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so as I'm dreaming up my business, honestly, this was a moment. This was a pivotal moment for me. I said, there are going to be people who do not believe in your dreams.
Yes.
Right? They were given to you specifically for you.
Yes.
And sometimes only you can achieve them, right? You're the person to do it. And if you don't do it, it don't get done.
Yes.
And they were all quiet. And I'm like, and you have to forgive those people, because unlike you, nobody ever told them that it's okay to dream and to dream big.
Wow. That's incredible. As we think about your background in social services, human services, you're certified as a licensed coach. Mm-hmm. How have you been able to leverage all of your educational experiences and life experiences to really come up with a strategy and a plan that you implement daily? So
I've utilized community resources really for that, because I came from a background, like as you said, in human services. I don't have a strong business background. And so I've utilized the Enterprise Center. Yes. Which was extremely helpful in providing resources to small business owners like myself. I came through the program Elevate last year under the leadership of Tiffany Payne.
One of my prized
the coolest thing about that program was just the amazing people, your energy. When you find people and energies line up, you have to honor that. And so that was wonderful. And then the other entrepreneurs that were there and the relationships that we were able to build and how we were able to support and still continually support one another. The Enterprise Center has been helpful with resources since I've left the program. So I had the opportunity to come in and do a consult with Deloitte. I'm now utilizing the IAG program through Wharton School. So I have a group of students that'll be working with my business this semester, which is an incredible resource. And so I'm the kind of person, when resources come, I believe an opportunity is only an opportunity if you take full advantage of it.
Absolutely.
And so everything that has been presented to me since I've been in business, I've expected and respected the fact that I don't know all of this.
Yes.
And I do need help. And so every time an opportunity comes, I take advantage. If there's a workshop, if there's a presentation, I did the Med Week this past week, week before last, I did Med Week, attended workshops, I attended a procurement event with DHS. So just really tapping into, all of the resources that have been presented, most of them coming from the Enterprise Center. But the city of Philadelphia on whole, there's a lot available for us as small business owners. And so just making sure that, again, the opportunity, and when it's there, take advantage of it.
Yes. And one of the things I really appreciate about you too, Audra, is that you love to create jobs for people.
Mm-hmm.
Not only are you creating jobs for many of your colleagues who you've worked with, but for young people as well. And you make sure the dollars stay circulating within the community. Talk about your reasoning behind that.
I grew up in North Philadelphia. I mean, what else can you say? And when you grow up, below the poverty level, you know what it's like, not just to be poor financially, but to be void of hope, to be void of hope. And when you're able to come through those circumstances, right, there's this obligation to pay it forward.
Yes.
And so that's where I stand now, in a position of paying it forward. And again, so that opportunity that I talked about is not just an opportunity for me.
Yes.
It's not just for me. To whom much is given, much is required, right?
Yes.
And so I now have to create opportunities for other folks, for younger folks, sometimes for older folks. It's not given to me just to sit on. If there's an opportunity for me to build,
yes.
Don't be afraid. I'm trying not to be afraid.
She is fearless, y'all.
Try not to be afraid. But build in a way that I'm better positioned to be able to help more people. So that's where I am with that.
That's wonderful. One of the things I really appreciate about you, and I keep saying one of the things, but there's so many things about you that I really appreciate.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, you truly are an inspiration. But when we were in class and we watched a video on Simon Sinek's Understanding Your Why, I can recall giving out these laminated copies of the business model canvas. And, everyone's looking at the business model canvas, and immediately I see you get activated by this business model canvas. And for those who are listening, the business model canvas is essentially your business plan on one page. But Audra...
I'm still working on it.
She's still working on it. But when she brought it back to class, it was just this incredible masterpiece. Like, you truly took the time to go through there's 9 building blocks, 9 boxes. You went through each box to really map out the services and the distribution channels and understand who your relationships are that you have to really understand how you want to service your clients. And so as we think about how you set strategy, I often refer back to seeing your face light up when we watch that video, Understanding Your Why.
Give me the tools, right?
Yes.
For so many of us, and I talked about coming up in North Philadelphia, for those, who work with folks who have limited resources, sometimes all we need is just the tools.
Yes.
Just give us the tools and we'll run with them. And so when I got a tool, you have all these ideas in your head and you have all these things that you want to do. And again, speaking to my passion and my purpose and my calling, but not having the background. All I wanted was the tools. Yes. All I continually seek is the tools and the resources to be able to bring the vision forward. And that's what that represented for me. It was like, wow, this is out there, give it to me and I'm going to work it.
Yes.
If you give me the tools, I'm going to work them. And so there's a lot of folks that are like me in that way, have the vision, have the idea, have the concepts, but not necessarily the tools.
Yes. And so I want you to talk about how you are leveraging these tools to prepare for what your vision might be in 5 years.
So 5 years facility. So I'm in the process of working out my financials so that I can purchase a building. I currently am housed in a converted warehouse complex, which is great. I tell everyone, start from where you are, work with what you have right now. And literally my back was against the wall. I was working out of gyms, from place to place. I was doing in-homes and contracting with different organizations, which was great, but I had no brick and mortar, and we all know brick and mortar gives you credibility.
Yes.
And so I wanted that. And so I moved into this space in a short amount of time, made it what it needed to be. I'm in there working miracles,
yes.
But I've hit a place, a plateau, if you will. And so now it's time for me to grow up a little bit. And so I'm in a process of, identifying that a bigger space where I can bring more trainers in. We can train more women. If it's a mixed-use space, that would be ideal so that I can also have the summer program operating out of there as well. But for the summer program, what I see, one of the challenges with reaching girls is they're under the care of adults, and the adults have to get them there.
Yes.
So I'm in a position now where I feel like I need to go to them. So I've been in talks with several schools.
Yes.
In the West and Southwest Philadelphia areas.
Yes.
To take my program into the schools.
Fantastic.
To the girls. So I'm super excited about that. Having multiple locations.
Yes.
So that's an opportunity for growth. So that's all in the plan. Bigger studio, reaching more girls and more schools, continuing to build the brand, getting more buy-in there, having more brand ambassadors, and being able to do more workshops, speaking engagements, getting my book out there, continually telling my story and aspiring to inspire more people. So that's the plan moving forward the next 5 years.
That is very exciting. And I look forward to being on this journey with you.
Yes.
So, Audra, I would love for you to tell our listeners what success means to you.
Success. I love that you said what it means to me, because I get to define it.
Yes.
I get to define it for myself. And I think that's the biggest thing, making sure that we are defining what success means. And if I look back, over my life, I had so many successes. I am successful, full of success.
Yes.
That's one of my affirmations. Could you tell?
Yes.
I am successful, full of success. And that's because, again, I was able to get on stage. I was able to put 7 women on stage. I was able to open my studio with little to nothing. I was able to start a program from a concept or an idea, create a brand, graduate from college, help support some of my family members and help to get them where they need to be. Like, so many successes.
Yes.
And the biggest thing is not to miss the little ones.
Yes.
Because the little ones are sometimes the biggest ones, and we miss those moments. One of the things I declared at the top of this year was that I was not going to do that. I was not going to miss those little moments, those little successes, because they all add up. And sometimes we have our big dreams, our big visions, our big goals of things that we want. Sometimes we don't hit the mark on those things, but we miss those little things. Even in the failure, there's successes. You learn something. You have to do something different. So that's what success means for me. It means celebrating the little things.
Yes.
Right? It is recognizing that you are successful, right? Recognizing that you've been on a journey.
Yes.
And it hasn't been like a straight line.
Yes.
There's highs and lows and ebbs and flows. And success is in being able to endure that. All the ebbs and flows, all the highs and lows.
Yes.
So that's what it means to me. That's what success is for me.
I love that. I love that. So today my guest was Audra Anusionwu. She is the founder and CEO of BeautiFitStrong, a Philadelphia native and health advocate. And so, Audra, for our listeners who have gone through similar journeys, right, and they're looking for more women such as yourself to get connected to, they want to keep their mind, their body, their soul, their spirit, and everything together. You are that connector. How can they get in touch with you, and how can they get in touch with your programs?
So the first thing they can do is go to my website, which is www.BeautiFitStrong.com, to get an idea of who I am and my service offerings. In addition to that, they can find me on social media at BeautiFitStrong on Facebook, at BeautiFitStrong on Twitter, as well as Instagram. And then if they want to call me, I encourage you to call me.
Please
you can call me. I'll answer the phone.
She will.
It's 215-432-0414. And my studio is located at 3510 Scotts Lane, Suite 3018. And that's Philadelphia, PA 19129.
Thank you so much, Audra. It was a real treat to have you on Zigzag today.
Thank you. It was an absolute pleasure, Tiffany. I enjoyed it.
You're very welcome. My name is Tiffany Spraggins-Payne, and I'm signing off.
Hello, everyone. This is Ryan Martin, the producer and sound engineer for the Grit Studios. If you enjoy our podcasts, the most important thing you can do to support us is share this episode with your family and friends, and let us know what you think about it in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you find your podcasts. Subscribing is 100% free. Don't know how to subscribe? Don't worry about it. There's a video walking you through the process in the show notes below. We will see you next week, and thank you for listening.